this computer and have it, posted after the webinar is completed. So let's get started, and then as people join along, so they'll just, they still will have access to the full webinar, and then be able to maybe see missing pieces that they were not able to attend to. So today's goal of the webinar is really to focus around interactive videos. But before we get there, I just want to give a quick, Koantic introduction to, for those who don't know Koantic, that much as far as what we do and what we are all about. So in this quick presentation, I'm just going to highlight a few things about our company. That will be really quick, so we can really dive into the topic of the webinar today. So Koantic is really like a full-fledged cloud-based application that allows anyone to create engaging and interactive learning courses directly from your browser. So we've been at it for just a short while now, but a few years that we've been, but we already have some pretty nice using Koantic past years. And one of the quote that we have from one of them is Koantic is so easy to use that we can introduce it as our PowerPoint boosters within the organization to allow anyone to start creating content without having to be experts in e-learning. So one of our goals is to really get just about anyone to start producing quality courses as fast as possible. So on this one, as far as the quick benefits of Koantic, so it's all done through the drag and drop. So we want to make sure that people that come in from applications like Google Slides or a Microsoft PowerPoint or something similar, they have kind of a quick understanding of how Koantic works. So just drag and drop things around, move it, do whatever you want. Access, it's always an easy access from any type of modern browsers, Chrome, Firefox, Edge, or Safari. Our goal is also being everyone productive as soon as possible. So by providing a lot of things that can be reused, be able to copy pages, copy content, create your own styling guidelines, and be able to reapply it across one or many courses. And as a cloud-based application, we align teams to work together. So from the one man or one woman army to companies that might have 5, 10, 20, or 40 different content authors. So we have tools to create teams within their own environment and be able to work in a private mode if they want, but also be able to share items across other teams. So it makes for different ways of working. So they can be fully open, or if you have sensitive material that can only be seen by maybe a few content creators, then we can really go into private mode with some of these groups and make sure that their content is confidential. And on the main set of features, so we have the full set of interactive slides. I'm gonna sometimes toggle between like interactive slides and then interactive videos, because what it does is like most of the tooling that you will see in today's webinar around interactive videos are the same kind of interactions that you can add also on top of a slide. When I say slide, something like a PowerPoint-like slide that you would build also in a tool like Captivate or Articulate. So we have a full slide editor that where you can add audio. Also be able to add questions and other things. Obviously full engine and tools like branching, video subtitles, and as I mentioned also things like workspace that creates groups, collaborations, features. Be able to have different authors with different levels of permission. So we're going to be doing a quick video today to show how it works, and then we'll dive into the video part of the presentation just right now. So thanks for sticking around for the quick introduction, and now let's get going and really go all in around Koantic interactive videos. I'm just going to go here and so to start building a new full video page in Koantic, so I'm going to click on the add page here. And choose the video slide, and then when I click on the video, then continue. So on this first screen, a couple of quick things about what we do. So Koantic has a full video backend solution, which means that you can give us just about any kind of videos that exist today, videos on your iPhone, old Windows media videos, whatever it is, then we will convert them to the right format, and we'll also make sure that they are optimized for the web. So you don't need to think about should I do it with a different application. You can spin up whatever you have, and we will make sure that it's properly compressed and converted, so the videos will be played everywhere. We also support outside providers. So instead that you have videos and you want to use videos of YouTube, or you're using a service like Brightcode or Vimeo, so you can really insert them into Koantic. But the key differences that you have is that in Koantic, you can put that videos like YouTube, which you can do in other applications, but you can add all of our types of interactions on top of Brightcode videos or Vimeo. So that's as far as getting videos from any types of sources that exist today. You upload your own in one, or you can batch upload videos. If you have 40 videos that you want to batch import in, there's just one person that has a key. Maybe if you put yourself on mute, that would be awesome if it's possible. But cool. And the last part I want to mention on this screen here is we also have a built-in screen recorder. So by using just your Google Chrome browser, you can record your screen directly here and then make it happen. So you can record the screen, the video will come back to you, and you can now use also Koantic interactions, which I'll show you in a second, and add them on top of it. So in this case, I'm just going to do the quick, simple video. Let's use this bunny one here that's already in Koantic. So once the video is in, either whatever that you've chosen from outside providers in Koantic, what you will see in that interface is you have here on the right all types of things that you can add and overlay on top of your videos, like text box. Give me 2 seconds. Right, so we'll get cool other questions. Cool. I will get them to be answered as soon as possible by Simon. So that's a depth. Okay, text, text button, buttons, shapes, and so these are all things that you can overlay on top of your video. So and all of them that you will be able to add, you can really define your own styling guidelines and then group. Many typically we would use like a video editor to add some text box, some effects, some other things, but you don't need to use these kind of tools because you can do most of it directly within Koantic. Images, icons, we have a full library of icons, audio.
Hello.
Hi. And then other things. Before I dive into this interaction, one thing is within the video here, we have two pretty cool features. One of them is our subtitle editor. So you can have a video and you want to do closed captioning. So what it do is you can click on this button here. It will send you from that video, and it will bring it back into a text format so that you'll have your closed captioning. And also here we have a full editor where you can do the final edits if you have text that came back because the voice was a bit muffled or some words were hard to hear. So just put it back in, and that's going to work fine. Or import a file from a transcriber. We support all of the closed captioning formats on the web, so you can give us the files, or you can do it manually directly here. And one quick point, we have a little clip and trim feature. So it's meant to be, if you need to do some basic, okay, I want just to cut the start of my video, or if you do a screen recording and then before it starts or at the end, you might want to cut a few pieces. So it's really meant for like simple editing, but you can really cut part of the beginning or the end of the video. So overall features of the Koantic video solution, and then now that we have our bunny here, let's get going and then see how it works. So on the video, I can start playing my video, and at any point in time, I can have my video stop and say, at this exact location, I want to add a text box that introduces the video. I mean the rabbit here. So I can click on. I want to add some text here. Choose some default styling guidelines. Click on it, and then that's going to appear. And as you can see, we have the full drag and drop features in Koantic on top of videos. I can enlarge it. And then put whatever text I want. Here comes that. And then text is long. I want to just keep it like this. So adding some text. What you can do for any type of things that you add on or you overlay on your videos, or same thing that if you would be building, you know, PowerPoint like slides, is you have on the right what we call here the appearance section. So we try to really give you a lot of options to really configure your items the way that you really like it to be. So let's say okay, I want to have some text box, but I like to have my corners less rounded. So I can just go here and then remove my round corners, make it really square. I can remove a border or add a border, change my colors, my font. And so within Koantic, you can choose, we have a bunch of pre-default fonts already set. But since I'm using this corporate font that doesn't exist here, so we can also add your custom font and be able to upload your fonts directly in our solution, and then use whatever you want to make things look the way that you want them to be. So we have like, you know, filled colors. In filled colors, we support gradient and background images. I can use like this rabbit here and use it to add a background image. I can use this one here, and then have a background image in my text box, and I can put some text on top of it. Gradient colors, and obviously many things that you can apply to padding, shadows, and the like. But a quick thing that I want to mention on the filling thing is at the top right, once you have your styling defined, you can already, I like this style, I would like to reapply it across, you know, my video. I want to have many text box on my video, so you can always, you know, save it as a new model. That will be my cool text, and then it's done. So if I would come back here and then I want to add a new text box, no, I have this new cool model that's already pre-built for me. I can click on it and then see already it has a proper styling and set to it. I'm just going to remove it just to. In the case of this text box, so that's a styling options. The other part that we have is, because as we are putting things here on the timeline of the video, see I've added this thing at second one. In the behavior section on the right, so each item has a styling here, like appearance, and also have behaviors. So in this case, it says that this text box here will appear at second one and will be displayed until the end, you know, the video. So if I would just go back here, there's no text box, I would play it, then text box appear. But say I want it to be, okay, but I don't want it to be displayed the whole video. I can say, well, I want to be to last only for 1 second to ensure the rabbit, and then I want it to be gone. So what we do is, what I've done here is I've changed my finish time, and then I'm just saying here that this interaction will last from second 1 to second 2.5. So going back here, I will click on my thing, see the text box, video, rabbit, and then come up. So that's all of the things that you can embellish your videos by adding text, making things more informative. Also, as a side point, I'm just going to get back to it, but things typically that's the decoration part of the video. But if you want to make things more now, let's say interactive and engaging for your learner, now I might add things that makes the user click on. So let's say that this video has some cool stuff about the rabbit, but I want to be able to show more information about, you know, the scene here. So what I can do here, I can say I want to add a clickable button. So I'm going to add a button here, and when I say when this button appears in my behavior section, I want the video to stop because I want the user to click on this button. So I will click that. So it's click me. So now I've applied here I want to have an action. So this box appear. Then in the behavior, now as we've seen, we have like the start time, you know, pause, slide, and other things. We have also this animation panel below. So I might want to do like some pretty cool effects, you know, with my things. So by default, it's set to fade. But if I would click on it, I might say I want this button to flip and bounce, or to be able to be displayed with different set of animations. You can choose from one of them. In some cases, there's more options like direction, and apply, you know, how long this effect will last. So we can really do some pretty cool stuff in Koantic, because what I've showed you before in the presentation about Koantic, that presentation was built 100% using our tool. So all of the effects that you've seen slides that, you know, the effects, you know, the animation, things that can move along, were built directly into our solution, using our solution. So the next part here is like in my button, I want the user to click on it. So I'm going to my action panel. So we have two types, the on-click and the on-hover. On the on-click option here, you'll see that, wow, okay, I've got a few set of things that I can do with my click. So by default, I've got no action, but I can choose from navigate to a page in my course. If I click here, I can go somewhere else. Show a tooltip, link to a web page, download files, and do other things. Let's do something as cool as a little tooltip. And I want to have a video on video. So I would choose in my on click to show a tooltip. And what I want to have here is a show another video on top of it. So I can just select something, you know, as a something as basic as a little quick, you know, video. What do I have here? Let's choose this one. And I can make it appear. I can make it bigger when it's going to pop up. I can create some styling guidelines around the tool, that tooltip here, same as we've seen before, full styling properties. So I just want to keep it as simple as this here. Done and done. Now I can always go and toggle into preview mode and see what it looks like. But what I want to do is I want to test it directly here in my course. So say as I'm building it, does it work really well? So if I click on my button, I've got this little, I can just simulate the action. So from the learners, if I click on it, then there we go. I've got this video that's been here. So it works fine. There's a cool pop-up. I put a video on video. This can be useful if you like, some use case that we have from one of our customers is they have a machine that they do a video of, and then, but the learner can also deep dive, but in that machine, there's also maybe some things that are hard to see from the main video. So you can say, well, if you want more details on a specific item here, click and then view more information. So you don't have to have like 10 different videos. You can link them together into one and allow your learners to go and discover more information. It could be tooltip or just hover that shows more details, or it can be linked to a PDF document that shows more specification about this machine or this new HR policies. So you can embed documents in your videos. You can link that to a page on your website. You can do video tooltip, text tooltip, put an image, and all of these things can be used to really augment and make the video much more interesting for the learner. And then typically if they can engage more with something, they are more likely to learn more about what they've just done. That's a part of the, so what we looked at is we can add, like in this case, we had some text early on from the bunny that appears for a few seconds. Later on at second 3 in my video, I have a button that does a click action. And that click action opens up a tooltip. So we have, this is a click, but we can have things that can just be on hover. And that means that if you move your cursor around, it will show information as you move around your video. But one of the key part that people want to do in a video is to make things, I want the learner to be able to, I want to ask some questions, because as they are seeing something along the way, I want to test their knowledge. So here, so we've seen like the buttons, you know, the shapes, be able to add images, you know, icons and other things, or add audio files. But one of the big thing is to be able to overlay questions, or as we call them, knowledge checks on top of the video. So if I click on the question, we support these 1, 2, 3, 4, like 7 types of question that can be overlaid on this video. So I can choose a multiple choice, true or false, matching, sequencing, hotspot, drag and drop, like drag things somewhere. I could just stop the video and have some hotspot where I need to click on the to where's the nose of the rabbit, or click on the ears of the rabbit. We have one that is doing a video on arthritis, and then they're using the hotspot on hand to click on and identify some issues with, you know, a radio that they just took on the hand. So they can use that in ways, because the goal is to really make this experience much more richer, because or else you would have to view the video and then have the learner go to a different place to ask some questions. But the best way is always to have, as I'm seeing this information, let's engage and ask questions as we go along. So to add one, click on multiple choice as an example. In this case, I can resize it, and then I can put it on the left of the rabbit. I want to make it slightly more transparent. I can just choose my color scheme, make it more translucent. And then voila, I can ask my question. Like, doing. Then he's leaving the scene, so I can just make the learner and choose one of these answers here. You can also configure your own feedback based on, in some cases, like in multiple choice question, you can have that feedback by answer, or just like a good job, not so good. So that's your feedback that will be displayed once the learner answers the question. And in behavior, now I've got different options because since it's a question, I can do like things like, shuffle answers, or there will be multiple, there's multiple good answers in this question here. And two things that I'm going to introduce here at the same time. And one of them, as a quick note, and I'll recap that at the end of the presentation, but we'll have one more webinar also that's coming up on May 22, same time, that we'll be discussing branching in Koantic, how to create scenario-based learning using Koantic branching. But in this case, in the video, you can say, well, all right, so I've got the force retry until question is passed. But if I uncheck that, I can say, hey, if I pass my question, well, do something. So I can say, hey, I can keep going in the video. Or if I would use, as an example, branching, I could send you to a different page or a different video. Okay, if you pass this question here, I'm going to send you to option A. But then if I fail it, then I choose fail here. Same thing, I'm going to go to option B to show you a path about, based on what you've chosen, this is what could happen. So you could be, okay, a video that describes exactly something that would go wrong based on your chosen answer. So there's a way to, or in many cases, if it's a longer video, you can really make the whole thing, here. And once it's done, okay, I'm going to ask questions as I go along. So you just choose the reason once the question has been fully answered. Or in this case, you force the learner to pass the question. So if you fail the first time, it's going to force you to have the right answer before proceeding. So you would be, in essence, really forced to move along, so that you'll be, again, let's resume playing and then keep on going. So the question is, you have, as we see, if I would save this one here, a lot of options to choose from. And what I'm showing you here, we can do the exact same thing in one of the slides. If you build a Koantic PowerPoint-like slide, as a common terminology, so you can use this exact same set of tools that you have here: text box, button shapes, and question. You can put them anywhere you want in Koantic. And also, if you have chosen to subscribe to Koantic hosting, all of that data will be tracked using XAPI in our hosting environment. Or you can also export as XAPI, and then that would set up an XAPI statement back to your own. If you have an XAPI backend, that will do the job also to give you more detailed information about what's going on within the videos. If people have answered, they've passed, or they failed, so it gives you that feedback that you can have access to. And maybe, okay, everybody's failing somewhere, so maybe the question was misleading, or yeah, there's simply an issue here about understanding, so we might have to do more training because people are failing at these exact locations. So questions are really good to test knowledge. And obviously we have a full quiz engine to really, like, I want to be into a quiz mode and I want to have a grade. So we can also scale up and then use a quiz to really send a score back to, if it's in a scoring format, or if you use Koantic hosting, then you'll have complete tracking of your questions and quizzes. I might just take a few minutes, so that's the video part of thing. But also, as I know, time is really moving really fast. What I want to show you a quick thing also. This is another example of and this is, if you go to the Koantic website and on the homepage, you can click a link to go to see our demos. This is we did this video using an iPhone 6 about 2 years ago, and then that's just how to shoot a video from your smartphone. So in this case, here I'm in building mode. I can really go in, and then so you can see that we have there's some best practices on how to do it. So someone talks on the left, and then we use a tripod. So we have all of these, and then we can provide some text cues and other things, or questions, or pop-ups. So we've used this demo as an example of some of the best practice on how to do it. And we have a pretty cool feature in Koantic. One of them is called bookmarks. So in bookmarks, what you can do here is, or you can think about it as video chaptering. If I go to a video and I want to have access to the main, video section, then I can click on the write a script, keep it short. Like, I want to go back to where we talk about lighting. I click on here, choose lighting, and I'm sitting exactly in the right place in the video. And I can start from here, and then now go into this exact topic, and then have more information. So we can show images that talks about lighting. We can send links to where to buy them if you want to. But it's pretty cool because if you start from scratch and, hey, I want to do some videos using my phone, because a lot of people say it's complex to do videos, it's expensive. So where should I start? Well, just on this video specifically, we talk about, like, just using. We bought everything on Amazon ourselves. We tested it out, some microphone, some tripods, some basic light kits, and then we create something that, from a few $100s, that you can create some pretty cool videos that is really low cost and easy to make. And then just use Koantic editor to add your text, your information, your pop-up, and your questions, and voila, you have a interactive videos that was done, in a breeze, just using your smartphone. So I want to be able to take some time to answer some questions. I know that Simon, my partner, is also on the line, so to answer any of them. So he probably has, done a good job to get everything done. So just Simon, any questions that are left to be that you focus on?
No, there was some question about hosting. Basically, how do I host a package? Can I publish in XAPI? So we answered those questions, but maybe you can show us a bit how it can be done. Maybe let's give a glimpse at the publish panel.
Cool. Yeah. So once you're happy with the work that you've done, then this video is already cool. It's already set. So then now I've done some preview work. Now let's go and publish. Once you click on publish here, you have, if you've chose to, in your trial mode, you have access to the Koantic cloud, or you can, let's say you have two options. But if you only choose like the authoring package, you can export to HTML5, SCORM 1.2, 2004, or XAPI. That means that you are going to be downloading a zip package, and you are responsible to put it wherever you need to. So typically, if you have an LMS, you export to SCORM, and then you're going to load that zip package into your SCORM LMS, and then you're good to go. Or if you chose Koantic Cloud, then you would click here. Then what's going to happen is then you will, it's going to create a link in the Koantic Cloud. I'm just going to show you what it looks like. Let me just go back here. So once the course is being published, so here we're on the Koantic hosting services. In this section, these are my published course. Actually, I published my course ease of use. So what makes it really cool for many customers, hey, I want to be able just to send a link to someone. In some use cases, I just want to be able to have users launch it from here and have some tracking, and then that's good. So here I've got my course published. Hey, I want to test it right away, or I want to copy this link and send it to a bunch of my our testers internally. I can copy this link, or if I will launch it from here, then it's going to launch my presentation. So since I will start, I'm going to resume. Then I can click on play, and then there's my presentation. So I can go here, I can see what's happening, and that's all going to be, this whole thing will be tracked in Koantic Cloud. So every page that is being visited, every question that's being answered, everything else will be detailed into our reporting section. So we have a pretty detailed reporting features in Koantic that allows you to, well, I don't have any data on this platform, but well, there's a couple of them here. So yeah, so you have this cool dashboard that allows you to see exactly what's going on every day. So in the past 7 days, we have 68 enrollments. This is a test platform, so it's meant for testing purposes. Course and I started, I can filter by all of these statuses. I can here that apply more filters by course, by groups, and then I can go and dig deeper. And in the reporting section, I can click on the user and then see exactly page that were visited, when. And if I want to have a quiz, I can go and then dig on each of the questions where they passed or failed and give you good feedback on, yeah, I got, this week we had 1,000 enrollment this week, and then most people failed this question. So you can have that kind of feedback within the Koantic hosting platform. There's any other questions that I should be covering? So that covers, I think, the publishing Koantic features.
Is it possible to track longer than a month in the analytics page? So let's say I wanted to see what students have done over the past 3 months.
Good point. So today, we can always go back here and change per month, but we have a month at a time. That's the only thing. We're looking to increase that because we want to make sure that it's going to be performing really fast. But we are looking to have up to 3-4 months of data back. But you can always go back from a month at a time. But we're looking to have something more 3 months or 4 months at a time. They can support obviously thousands and tens of thousands of records. So we try to make sure that we can test according to lots of data usage. But yes, we want to increase that amount. But now it's set to a month.
Okay, and when you export something to SCORM or one of the other export options, do any of the question options go along with the video, or is it just the video?
So if you publish to SCORM about your whole course, if your course had some slides, a quiz, videos, some branching, the package will contain everything in the SCORM package. So everything will be there. Yeah.
Is that true for all of the export options?
Yeah, it's true for all of the export. Yeah, exactly. So any export that you will do, if you publish your course, the same course in HTML5, SCORM or XAPI, it will be the exact same course, but it will just behave differently because if it's a SCORM course, it will send SCORM data. If it's XAPI, it will send XAPI data, but you don't lose nothing. Every export is full featured. So even in HTML5, we kind of track the whole course look in your own browser, so you will know what you've done if you've passed it. So you'll know if you made it. But obviously, if it's meant to be standalone, you won't have any data that will be sent to any type of system of record. But every downloadable file will behave the exact same. It will contain the exact same data. Does that answer your question?
I think so. I haven't tried it yet.
Yeah, but you can test it out, but you'll see it's the same thing everywhere. So you won't lose anything. The quiz, the questions, the videos, the slides, the branching, content, all will be there.
And just to confirm, with your newest version, when I look at a student's engagement with the course, can I now see how they answered the final questions?
Yes. Yeah, in the Koantic hosting. So we keep track of if you have 1, 2, or 3 quizzes, we'll keep each question's answer will be displayed in the reporting section. So you can click on the user and to this John Smith quiz, question 1, he passed or he failed. This is what the user answered, and that was the right answer. So you have that full detail in the reporting section.
And is there an option to do a little more advanced analytics, like if I wanted to know how every student answered question 1? Can we do something like that?
So not yet, but yes, but so in this case, we're looking to build additional reports to be able to kind of pivot the data from the exam. So say that you had 100 users and then all the questions to be in green mode. So today it's not there, but this is part of our roadmap to have a few more types of reports in the Koantic hosting solution. So definitely that's going to be out as soon as we can.
Okay.
But it's always good if you get other types of reports that you would like. It's always good for us to get the feedback, because we put that into our roadmap, obviously, and then we try to have like a overall roadmap of where we want things to be built, and then if we have enough demand or more demands, then we try to fast track the features that are the most wanted.
Okay.
But the one on the reporting has been asked a few times, so we can have more types of reports. And now we think we're doing some improvements in the speed and performance of the whole hosting solution. And yes, these reports, we'll hope to have them. There's one also about like being able to display by types of devices that people have used. They use a smartphone, a tablet, so we'll have also a graph along these lines. Okay, so any other questions? There was one about the branching. So yes, so we'll have the branching is going to be on May 22nd. So on May 22nd, we'll send out an invite to everyone if you want to attend this one. But will be that one will be really focused around branching.
Thank you.
Anytime. Cool. So if it's all good, then I will get the recording, finalized, and I will post that up onto our website so people, if you want to go back to what we presented, then you're welcome to go back and then take a look at this today's webinar. So I want to thank everyone for attending today's webinar, and hopefully you found it useful and help you out. If you have additional questions, we always have a live chat, or send us an email. And if you have something that you want to talk to us about, we can also do some one-to-one calls if there's a need to have some follow-up, based that was maybe not covered enough in today's webinar. So thanks again, and hope we see you again on May 22nd at 11 a.m. same time.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.